Welcome to the season finale of the Penguin RC Simulation SimCAR Grand Am Series. Today we are at Watkins Glen, and I am joined by Stephen Finch for color commentary, and special guest, Brandon Lambert.
Hey, how you
Brandon?
doing, Jake?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Well, glad to be back. You know, it's been a while. We took a nice little hiatus when it comes to commentary here.
But we're back with the finale here, and here we can see the GTP standings, which wrapped up last race, I believe. So today you'll see the GTP drivers participating in the GT3 class, but congrats to the winners there. The GT3 Pro class here, we have Kevin Fanning, who tops the series, first place, taking the championship home, and then coming up right behind Brian Son and Tim Braca. So for the GT3M series, our class, which is not finished yet, we have Daniel Coletta leading with a commanding 438 points, and behind Brian Asta and Marwin Mafta, who are both tied going into the final race for second place. So now we are going into the final minutes of practice here, so we can see who's got the pace. You can see Kingsbury here.
We got the other Kingsbury's top of the time in practice right now with a 144.6. This is a what is it? A 3.6 mile track. Very fast track. Oh, okay.
And we can see right there going through the bus stop that will be a place to look at during the race. That is where the lap time is made and where the race can be lost there. One simple slip up on entry or throughout the two curbs within that bus stop chicane and your race is over. So, okay, here we're going to be going with Cody for a lap around the track.
Nope.
And he stopped. All right.
And
join race. Stopping.
I think we're getting ready. I was gonna say I think we're getting ready for qualifying here.
I think we'll take a lap around with one of these guys in quali. Yeah.
We got about a minute before practice ends and quali starts. Brandon, what's the quali format here?
It's close qualifying. It's about 10 minutes. You can run as many laps as you can in 10 minutes. So it's just basically the fastest guy out there, and it's probably what you see is Matt Kingsbury at the top of the leaderboard right now. That's probably a little Q run there, because I guarantee Kevin Fanning's gonna be on pole.
Kevin's been fast all season.
Yeah, Kevin is the class of the field. Oh, what in the world was that? There's a car just.
Oh, we can take a look at that. Yeah, that's someone.
No, Kevin has been the class of the field. This has been his season to lose this championship, and he has dialed it up and won almost, I think, every race this season. But he's been so close to winning the championship the past 3 seasons, so see him finally get a championship is really good. But
I'm not sure we had a chance to look at the GT3 Pro standings. So we got into quali? We did, yes.
That's the one that Kevin
closed out.
Yeah, Kevin Fanning's got that one by a very, very large margin.
So the thing to keep our eyes on then is going to be the AM Championship, which still is up in the air for 3 people. We have the leader with kind of one hand on the trophy, but that battle for second is as tight as humanly possible.
Matt? Austin's already on track. All right, we got a nice little R8 going around. These are the S's. They're high speed, flat out, all the way through. High risk, high reward.
Yeah, do we want to go on board here and see if we can walk ourselves through a lap? All right, I think that when we get to the flyer, we'll go on board. Steven, do you want to kind of give the play-by-play as he goes through?
Yeah. So right now we're going through the bus stop, one of the trickiest parts, at least for me. of the track. Then, because the bus stop exit into that long right-hander, which comes down into a nice tight, about 160-degree left-hander, right? Yeah, left-hander into a hairpin right. I get my left and my rights mixed up.
Yeah, that's all right. I do as well. You know, sometimes it's easier to just only turn left. That's why
You know,
ovals are
no,
made.
no. Then after the hairpin, we're going to come down into this fast sweeping right into what I would consider. Oh,
I was just gonna mention we should keep an eye on the Audis in this section. Any of the mid-engine cars, the final sector of this track can be really difficult under braking and very easy to spin. So
oh yeah.
we'll see. All right, so I will take you through the onboard flying lap with Matt once that starts. He's in the new GT3 Mustang. So we're getting right over to the last turn here, which you really need a good setup to start your lap. You want all the exit speed possible here. Looks like he has a decent run. We're on to the start-finish straight. Going into turn 1. I need to turn my sound down there. Alright, turn 1, you want to get a nice and good exit. This is a very long straight. Use all the curve. That's perfect. You want it very close, very tight margins, not to go over and get that 1x, which would be a lap ruiner. So, and the Mustang obviously should be doing pretty well in this section of the course, and he has a good exit, so there's already a good start to the lap. Now, yep, going into the bus stop here, late on the brakes as possible and cutting that curb as much as you can. Trying to keep it tighter to the left. He doesn't get it too tucked in there. Still gets a decent run out, going to this long sweeping right-hander, using all the curbing and track that he possibly can to carry that speed. Down into the brakes here, should drop down to third, maybe second gear, we'll see. Keeps it in third to keep the car balanced right. All the curbing on the exit there. We're going to see him go probably 100 board here, yep, on the brakes, into third, keeps it for the balance. And that looks clean to me. Now, this is going to be the make or break section of the run here. Should be right around the 100 board, just before. Okay, a little early. Gets it turned in, still in that third gear. Oof, a lot of track there. That might not be ideal for his time. We'll see as he gets as much rotation as possible. Try and get on the power. That's 2 purple sectors here. He's going quick. This is where it all counts. Try not to get that 1x and carry all the speed, and then you need a good, clear run through. Just loses a bit of traction there. But he should be good for a decent lap there, it looks like. Crosses the line. Two tenths of a second off.
So, you know, I know, Jake, you haven't driven the new GT3s yet, but that Mustang, probably given in the right hands, would probably really excel here. The letting off the engine brake's so powerful, it rotates the car so well. Getting into T1.
Yep, hey, as I'm seeing here too.
Hey guys, real quick here. I just wanted to mention something. Obviously, with this new iRacing update, they've updated the curbing at Watkins Glen. These 3D curbs now, especially through the bus stop. Steve, we were talking about before we went live, talking about how it's launched your GTP a few times. How do you think that's going to cope with these cars?
If they hit it right with the heavier GT3s, I think they can do it. If they hit it wrong, it could be day ending because you're going so fast. I mean, exiting the bus stop, they're doing anywhere between 100 and 120. So they're going real fast through the bus stop, and if you don't hit it right, it'll launch your car right into the wall. You're along for the ride. There's nothing you can do.
Well, when it comes to carnage, I'm all for it. I don't think the drivers are, so that's why I'm going to sit here in the production booth and keep my mouth shut. Back to you.
Thank you, Adam.
So,
I think the Mustang should be pretty good around the right. It's pretty comfy over the curbs.
Yeah, it should be pretty good. Well, the Mustang will be really good because it's real heavy. It's essentially the new BMW with a bigger front engine.
One thing I'm keeping an eye on here, seeing on screen, is the Corvette, which I'm pretty interested in seeing go over. I've driven this car, and I don't think it's that fun over the curb, so we'll see if it really unsettles it. Yeah, it's a big jump.
I happen to love the Corvette, and you know, in the great words of Juicy, if you're hitting that inside curb, you're not carrying enough speed through that bus stop. The natural flow of the car you should not be able to hit that inside exit curb, because the car should be trying to push out because you're just understeering. Understeering? Yeah, understeering.
All right, looks like Joshua's got a couple green sectors on for a flyer here. Let's see as he handles through here. Looks like nice and tidy under the curbing. Maybe he could carry a bit more speed, but this is really, again, a make or break section of the course. You really have to commit to this turn. Oh, does not look like he's carrying much speed through there.
With the snow, the C8 it plants to the ground. I actually really enjoy driving the C8 over the Mustang. To me, the best way I could describe it is, so what did he ended up? 13th improvement
position.
So for me, the C3 drives very similarly to the Ferrari, and how I explained it when I first got into the car is that it is a more stable Ferrari. But like this Mustang going around this corner here, barely any brake, because that engine's just so powerful. It rotates the car so well, and there's so much weight on over those front axles that it just, those slow to medium speed corners, the car just rotates. It wants to rotate.
All right, we're bringing Marwan up here, who's in the battle for the GT3 AM. Looking at that first place, he's in the running for it, but what he's most definitely in the running for is the second and third battle, separated by 0 points going to this last race.
And as of right now, qualifying-wise,
that's 7th.
Mora he's 7th, and Asta is P9. And there is am I reading that right? No. The time gap.
Yes, that's to the leader, the time gap.
Oh, okay. I thought it was, so they're about 8/10 of a second. No.
3/10.
No, it's like 8/10 of a second. 7/10, because Marwa's best lap was a 1:45.8. Asta's best lap was a 1:47.0.
I'm seeing Mofta 0.3 off the leader here, and Asta 0.65 off the leader. So that'd be 3 tenths between their qualifying lap. Both in the Audi too, so they're gonna be pretty even everywhere on track. As long as one of them's behind the other in the giraffe, they have a good battle. But let's go to
8-9, P or 7-8, P7 and P8 for the battle for second. Why did that not update correctly?
Well, let's go over to who the leader overall for GT3M. They are, I think, a solid, 50 points ahead of second and third?
Yeah, we're coming to the end
it's going
of
to
qualifying.
be Daniel Coletta. So I would be quite interested in seeing where he qualified ahead, because I think Mofta and Asta would both be hoping he does not have the best of races, because I think that's really their best opportunity to try and get that first. So
the top three leader, the top three in GT/AM, Coletta is P6, Mofta is P7, and Asta's P8.
Yeah, but the running order is going to be Youngwall in first, taking pole position with Kevin Fanning right behind in second. Starting the second row of the grid, we have Matt Kingsbury and Cody Cosgrove in fourth. In fifth, we have John Marjorbanks and Coletta in sixth. Then we have Mofta in seventh, And 8th place would be Brian Asta. Moving on to 9th, we have Jason Lynn. And rounding out your top 10, we have Kevin Bogart. Finch, would you like to take us through the second half of the grid?
At 11th, we have Karen Forrest. In 12th, we have Josh Undu. And 13th, we have Tim Taplin. And 14th, we have Joshua Sassi. 15th, we have Ray Kingsbury. 16th, we have Brian Shun. And that our producer slow. And 17th, we have Brandon Lambert. Wait.
Brandon, you're all right.
Yeah.
Brandon's out of the booth and on the track.
I was like, wait, hold on. I was like, wait, isn't he? So we only have.
Yeah, it looks like the last two here aren't on track.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Robert has not been entered into our override points, guys, but Robert is not in. Right now, he's sitting 15th place, but that's going to be an issue that we're going to see in the overlay. It's going to show Robert in a class of his own, so we will try to keep you updated on exactly where he is during the course of this race.
Some might say Robert has done so well this season that he is in a class of his own. So, Robert, you will be first, not only on our overlay, but in our hearts for the rest of the race. So, here we have the outlap here. So, going into this, where should we be looking for overtakes, Finch?
P1. Surviving P1 in the bus stop is going to be
P1, yep.
crucial. Absolutely crucial. You know, everybody wants to come into P1 because it's probably the slowest time you'll go down through T1. Whatever.
Turn 1, P1.
Nah, close enough. This will be the slowest that they go through turn 1 throughout the entire time. And it's going to be, the car's going to rotate the best right now. They're not going to be.
Brandon Lambert, or just Lambert, who do you think you have your money on for winning this race here?
For winning tonight, I think it's gonna be between Youngwall and Fanning. Youngwall's our GTP champion. The points were locked up for him to win, so we just decided to allow everybody to run the new GT3 cars because everybody was excited about them. So that's what we did. But so Youngwall has been the class of the GTP field, but he's no slouch in the GT3 either, as you can tell because he's on pole. But I think it's going to be a dogfight between him and Fanning. I think if Youngwall keeps it together, then he's got it in the bag. But if Fanning keeps pressure on him, then I think Fanning will take it.
All right,
I was going to ask, have you seen these guys? Oh, sorry.
I'm going to put you on the spot one more time here. We got this GM battle. Brian Asta, who do you think is going to take that one?
Oh, see, you stole my question. I was just in the middle of asking that, Adam.
Between them two, I got to hand it to Mofta. He's shown incredible improvement in pace this season, and so I've been very surprised at how quick he's actually gotten. He's kept up with me in a couple of races this season, so I think Moffa's going to get second. But I don't think anybody's catching Coletta because the max amount of points you can earn is 90. So, and I think there's like a 60-point gap. So I don't think anybody can catch Coletta. Even Coletta wipes out most races.
All right. So he has 1.5 hands on the trophy. It sounds like. So we will have to keep an eye on Aston Mofta. Now, Lambert, you've seen these guys race all season. Who should we keep an eye on besides the lead? Who should we keep an eye on this first lap? Who is going to be trying to be quite aggressive, climbing up the field early on?
The two most aggressive people on the racetrack are like running 3rd and 4th right now. Cody Cosgrove and Matt Kingsbury. Two very aggressive drivers. Aggressive but safe, so they're not going to create a whole lot of calamity, but they are very aggressive.
All right. Well, we are going in right to the last turn here, and we should see green flags fly any second now. We'll have to keep an eye on that top 4 then and see what happens.
If Young's smart, he'll go right out the corner.
And he might wait all the way down to the line.
He's not in a
slipstream.
Well, yeah. I was thinking he was thinking.
All right, that's greens flying here. See him run down a T1. That's a good run off of 3rd place at Kingsbury, who is almost pushing him into T1. And we see Youngwall go around the outside, stick it, holds it there, and should have a good exit to lead this run down into the bus stop. 2 by 2 by 2. Everyone is lined up
That's
like
some good
Noah's
clean
Ark
racing.
going down the straight here.
Why can't we get that in officials? We got Matt Kingsbury getting up into second.
And we see Youngwell holding that lead right now. Oh, looks like there might have been contact or some dirt kicked up there. Everyone seems to be making it through the bus stop. No drama right now. And
I like Major Bankies.
the biggest loser out of that right now seems to be Fanning, who has dropped down 2 spots in that opening sector.
Yeah. Long race is what this is the sprint of a 15-minute, and then we have the feature.
Yep, we have Forrest here trying to tuck it around the outside, going in here. That could be quite good with the Porsche. He might have a good run, but he has to contend with the exit straight line speed of this Mustang here. Does manage to keep it ahead. Let's see if he goes for a retaliatory move going in.
See, if I was that Mustang, I would have gone into that corner, given the rotation speed of that Mustang.
And we see a bet of Ray Kingsbury managed to slip around the outside, and that's 2 cars by that, passing that Mustang right in that lap 1. Looks like Fanning also dropped down another position there. We see he's dropped down to 5th. Here's a replay of that. Oh.
3 points.
There's the replay here. Gets right on the inside. Yeah, there's not much you can do to. You really need that exit speed to try and hold around the outside. It's not the worst decision just to back out of it once the move there.
Yeah, it really is the best decision just to sit back there.
Oh, Cody Cosgrove passed on the 4th. Oh, that was that move we just saw. I think.
That was that move that we just saw.
It's Cody Cosgrove, 4th place. So he's at a net 0, getting that place back.
I'm curious of how many times we're going to see somebody get squirrely come out the bus stop.
Yeah, well, with a lot of those mid-engine cars and these new curbs, I think that's going to be a lap after lap thing that we see here. Now we see 2 wide. That's going to be Forrest and Lynn, I believe. Or that's Ray Kingsbury. Making another move. That's what, 4 positions up for Kingsbury. So he's made the best start out of everyone here so far.
Yeah, that new C8, it's out of the new GT3s. It's definitely my favorite. It drives real well.
Well, if I can take a second, so if you see Ray starting in the very back of the race. So Ray had a Tier 3 penalty from last race at Long Beach, which gave him 4 penalty points for the season. And with that, he had a no qualifying penalty, so he was not allowed to qualify, so he had to start at the back of the field.
Ooh, I like the idea of that. And honestly, it's unfortunate for Ray, shame, but it's gonna be making for quite an interesting race. We should see a lot of overtakes from him as we see him go again on this back straight here.
So does the sprint race set the grid for the feature?
So yes, yeah. So the finish of this race will set the grid for the feature, but also, since we went all back to a single car field, we were able to implement our old system of where we invert the top 8.
Ooh,
interesting. So that should spice up the battle then for this Asta and Mafta battle for 2nd place in the AM division right now.
Yeah, Brandon.
But as I say that, we did have server issues when it first started, so actually I think I forgot to put that back in.
Uh-oh.
Oops.
I was going to say, then let's be theoretical here. What if it was an inverted grid? Unfortunately, we're not going to get it, but hey, I'm a league owner as well. I know how that goes. If it was an inverted grid, how does Christian Youngwall do in the GT3 when he's got traffic? I know he's used to being in a prototype car where he's passing people all the time, but it's a little bit different. You don't have as much dig out of corners in a GT3 when you're racing Greece.
I think Youngwall would do just fine. He's a really good race car driver, and so he can make safe overpasses and overtakes, and I don't think he'd hit. It would take him a minute probably to get up there, challenge for the top spot again, but I don't think it'd take him that long at all.
I mean that yeah, he's consistently running. Youngwall's consistently running about 4/10 faster than the rest of the field.
He's pulled up a 1.5 second gap and just 4 laps over them.
Yeah.
Still though, one mistake, and we're gonna have Kingsbury right back in the draft, so we can't put him as the as a safe winner right now. Alright, so here you can see on our timing board on the left, now that we've split out the M's and the Pros, you can see their respective positions. So we have Coletta and Mopta, who are currently in 7th and 8th on the track right now, or 1st and 2nd in class, 1.3 seconds apart. So that battle is something we're going to be keeping an eye on the whole race. I was going to say all night, but the race, only about an hour. 15 minutes for this first one here. So if you're Mopta in the situation, Finch, what are you trying to do here behind him?
Keep it clean, keep it consistent.
Are you trying to pull an overtake? You know, we see they're close in time, and Mofta's closing in pretty quick here, about a second behind.
If I'm Mofta, okay. So you asked me if I was Mofta, correct?
Yep.
So if I'm Mofta, I'm not worried about first. The only way that we're going to get first is if he crashes out both races. It's the only way, right?
Sorry. Yep, Asta. Apologies. Yep.
Asta's behind me. I'm going to worry about keeping it clean and keeping it consistent. If I'm Asta, I'm going to be trying to watch what he's doing differently than I am and where I can make up time. Right? Where can I get the edge? That's the good thing about being behind somebody's. You can, especially these GT cars, you can see when they're braking, with turn-ins, all that, and try to get an edge ahead.
Speaking of which, I think we see Cody Crosgrove doing one of those little methods there. He went a little bit wide, trying to carry that exit speed out of T1, which is a trick that I would use right now when you have someone right in your draft range. So what he did, whether intentional or not, you get that 1x, but you carry a lot more exit speed down the straight. And if you have someone right behind here, like Kevin Fanning, who's been staring at that car, waiting for that draft, then you can use that to try and stay ahead for another lap.
Guys, I will tell you that is one of the most beautiful rear ends you're ever going to have to stare at. That Corvette is got to be one of the most beautiful cars in Iowa.
Yeah, you were supposed to stay there. So what happened with Mr. Tim Taplin?
Yeah, I think we saw an incident there in the back of one of the shots earlier. It looked like in the final sector, going into third to last turn.
Yeah, I was just curious to get a little bit of
rotation. He went around here on the brakes. No? Oh, on the power.
That Mustang's real easy to do it. It's like the BMW, right? Heavy front end. You get onto the front end. You get onto the gas before it's ready to get onto the gas. It will oversteer.
No, absolutely. A little tricky on the power.
Of course, our producer Adam is, staring at that C8.
I mean, it is nice. It is very... Oh, and Fanning catching up a lot on the brakes for the last turn there. Going right up, getting Adam a good shot of that rear bumper. We have Adam still talking in the booth, predicting a bus stop move. And we'll see, we don't have that 4th place car of Crosgrove getting that nice exit, and he does have the draft of the car in front though, so he can use that for his defense here. He might himself go for a move now in the car in front of Marchbanks, who does not have that draft.
No, what Fanning did there was smart. Yeah, you could sacrifice the draft, right, but hopefully one of them makes a mistake, which it looks like Marchbanks did, and kept Fanning real nice and close.
See these? Yeah, 2, 4, and 3, or 2, 3, and 4 if you want to go in correct order, are nose to tail, and there's contact. Getting slippery on the grass, and that is a position conceded to Fanning, who moves up to 3rd place, or 4th place. Apologies.
I kind of
nose to tail again.
That coming.
Oh God, I thought
he goes left, he goes right, he pulls along the outside here. See if he can stick it. Looks like he's going to go for the over and under. Try and get back to the outside for the next corner. Dips back again to the inside and tucks in. keeping it stuck. This is a battle if I've ever seen one.
What Fanning did there was smart. He just held his line no matter what. That no matter what Crossgrove was doing, going back and forth, the follow car is allowed to do whatever they want and try to overtake. You're only as the lead car, you're only allowed to do one move.
Yeah,
and
I
it
think we're gonna
can't be
see
in
another move
response.
here. He's gonna pinch him to the outside. And he's going to use that, hopefully set up for some exit speed. Oh, he is setting up for some exit speed with a little cheeky off track. That should give him a nice run going to the bus stop, and I think we should see another move coming along.
We that used to be a what's it called? A slowdown.
No, it's just a 1X right now, and he's using that. Is he going to go alongside? He's going to go on the outside through the bus stop? Surely not.
He's going to outbrake him.
Oh, he commits. He commits, and he takes it along the outside into the bus stop. That was an amazing move. Wow. Can we get a replay of that from the outside? I know this battle is good, and I want to see it. I want to see that move again at some point.
I want to see that move again. That was really good from the outside.
Oh, and he loses it on the
No, they both slid. Go back. They both slid.
We saw
so it looks like Fanning got away first.
Yeah, let's go back to that incident. There. It looks like on the brakes we saw
Crossgrove do exactly what a mid-engine car does under these medium speed corners, over rotates, and that caused Fanning. Oh, he over rotated, but he caught it. It did good staying there to the inside, trying to stay off the racing line.
That's
what a
really good evasion
rejoin
there.
Yeah.
He panic braked a little bit because there's a car spinning out in front of him, so it causes him to spin out, and that was a good recovery. So
that was a really good recovery.
Not too much loss from Fanning, but that is heartbreaking from Crossgrove, who had an amazing move through the bus stop, and I'm sure we'll see him move back up the field.
Yeah, with all that, that left a battle that we haven't been paying attention to just to come on the screen right now, which is between Coletta and Mofta, which is for the overall AM lead.
Yes. This is both in Audis. I haven't driven the new Audi yet.
A very strong car.
They're doing pretty good with these cars nowadays. Now, it's an interesting choice by Mofta for not being right behind him.
Yeah, it looks like he might just be eyeing up that braking zone. It can kind of catch you out if you're tucked in as close as he is right now. So he's not going to go for the move. That's not the worst idea in the world, I think. Yeah. Minute and a half left, so we might be seeing white flag on this next lap, and maybe that was a move. Maybe he was
lead right here.
Oh, yeah, looks like Kingsbury closed in, and with 1 lap to go, this is not a fun position to be in when you're leading. When you have that long straight. Going in at the end of Sector 1. So if I'm Kingsbury here, I might just be tucking in, trying to stay as close as possible, and trying to make the move done right before the bus stop.
Yeah, right before the bus stop, or the the left-hander after the bus stop on the inside and pushing them out if you can get close enough.
Oh. They're going very wide here. Let's see if we get a white flag this lap.
Yeah, white flag is there. I see it.
Alright, so this will be the final lap, and only 4 tenths, less than 4 tenths between our two leaders here.
Ooh. Looks like Kingsbury didn't get to tuck that in.
No, looks like
that in as...
Yeah, but Youngwell had a worse exit, it looks like. He gained a little bit on the brakes, but Kingsbury should have a run going into this. Yep, this is Ray Kingsbury, the other Kingsbury, who's also in a tight battle. Yeah, back to the lead, does not get that.
Stop. Ooh, it looks like Matt got a really good exit. I would send it down. If he's going to send it anywhere, I would do it into this corner, right on the inside.
He's not close enough, it looks like, to make that move. 3 tenths would be a little bit of a dive bomb, I think, with these cars.
Oh, yeah, it'd be every bit of it. Oh, or right here, the inside here.
Yeah, 2 tenths. He might be trying to set up for this right-hander coming up.
Well, the good thing about these corners here in the boot section is they're nice and wide. So you can break a little bit later, sacrifice some time, but you could break a little bit later and make that diving move from a little bit further back and not have to be, the risking of somebody, hitting somebody or running somebody off track because these quarters are so wide.
All right, well, looks like Youngwall has narrowly cemented that first place in race 1, coming across the line. P1, Youngwall. Let's go back to Ray. Oof.
You think he's gonna get him out of the T11?
Oh, see, this is looking really close for this finish here. This is
Oh!
8th and 9th. Oh, and
That was
that is
Asta!
a spin from Asta, who does not want to see that happen when he is
No.
tied for second. Oh, that is heartbreaking here.
I wonder if that was contact.
Yeah, we'll have to get a replay and see if there's contact.
It did not look like contact, but it looked like he just got squirrely. He undercut it. He undercut that quarter instead of letting it flow so far out, which I don't know why. Okay.
Wow.
Can we go back to that?
Let's go through the results real quick. Nope, no results. All right, yeah. So no results here as a heat race. So as we're
we can
as
give
we're
the
waiting
results,
for the grid up for the next one here. What are your thoughts on that first one? Some crazy overtakes, some really close race in that 15-minute sprint.
Oh yeah. We can give results. We have the results up on our timing.
Oh yeah, let's pull it. You want to roll through the results?
Yeah, I mean at least an unofficial results. So we got P1 would be Youngwall. In second place we got Matt Kingsbury. Third place, John Marchbanks. Fourth place was Dan Coletta. Fifth place is Narwan Mofta. Sixth place, Kevin Fanning. Seventh place, Cody Crossgrove. Eighth place, Ray Kingsbury. Ninth place, Kevin Bugart. 10th place, Brian Asta. Excuse me.
You can do it.
11th place would be Karen Forrest. 12th place would be Josh Ondu. 13th place would be Joshua Sassi. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name. I like pronouncing it that way. 14th would be Nathan Flannel. 15th place would be Tim Teplin. 16th place would be Robert Falquez.
Falquez, probably.
And then 17th place with Jason Lynn.
And don't you forget Lambert, who's in the booth with us multitasking as he gets this P18.
Are we able to go back and see that?
I'm not sure we can. But that was an incredible race.
It really was.
Start to finish. That makes me excited for this 45 minutes up. Coming up here.
Well, what makes me excited is that we have some really fast people in the middle of the pack. You got
Yep, so shout out to the league sponsor, who is Penguin RC Simulation. I don't know if you have any info on them, Lambert.
Yeah, Penguin RC. They started as a RC, like aftermarket manufacturer, making parts for RC cars. But Brian Spahn, who is the owner of Penguin RC, he races with us here also. But he started getting into sim racing, and so that led from his RC experience of learning how to make carbon fiber and composite materials for the sim racing world. He's got plenty of like button boxes and like steering wheel boxes and all kinds of cool little things. Yeah, you can go check his website out. It's shop.penguinrc.com. He's got all kinds of great little things at a great price and very well made. I have a couple of pieces on my rig, and I highly enjoy them.
Well, do you have any favorites?
Well, Well, I have two button boxes. One's is just a standard button box, just got buttons, and then the other one's a rotary button box where it's got some rotaries, so I can have some adjustments and do things in iRacing while I'm racing the car if I don't have any buttons on my wheel, which is a lot when I do like oval racing because I have 0 buttons on my wheel.
Oh, it sounds really nice. We're gonna have to go check them out.
Yeah, I've checked him out before when I was looking for info on the league, because apparently I was supposed to be in these races. Didn't know until like a week ago. I was looking around to figure out what the league was about and try to get some background on it. No, their site's really cool. They got a lot of cool stuff.
That's okay, dude. This is, from the looks of this race, it was all very clean. So I don't know, Finch. I don't know if you cut it, but
Bro, I'm on almost 4.0 safety rating right now, bro. Right?
Okay.
Ask Adam. He's raced me as I've raced GTP and he's raced.
I don't know if Adam has his rear view mirror enabled, but we're gonna have to.
GTP and I.
Banshee, if you're gonna try to sit here and tell me that you're faster than me while you're in a G, I'm in a G. You've just made
No.
Yeah,
I'm saying that I'm clean.
Yo, yeah, that's when they're even.
No, I'm saying that I was a clean racer, not that I was faster. Because that's what he was referring to. Is I don't know. This race was clean. I don't know if you'd be able to take it.
I'm
All right,
joking.
get
You're a
back on
clean
track
driver,
here. Brian, so we've got a 45-minute race coming up, and this is going to be a bit more of an endurance race. What is the fuel strats, fuel quantities? Are they they're obviously forced for fuel. Do you think tires with the new tire update are going to come into play? I mean, there's a lot to think about here for this next 45-minute race.
You mean Brandon?
I meant Brandon. I called him Brian. Yes, Brandon. I apologize.
Hi.
Okay,
First
let's
it's
try that
Ray,
again.
now it's Brian.
We were just talking about Brian
Rumor has
Zone.
it he goes by Lambert.
We were just talking about Stone, I'm sorry. But anyways, back to my original question. Obviously, tire models have changed with the new update. Do you think that's going to have any effect on what these drivers do, first of all? And second of all, fuel strats, obviously. Are the cars, do they have different fuel tanks? Is that going to affect this race?
I don't think so too much. The tire models were just changed a little bit. There wasn't a big drastic change. I did get a few laps in the car before my back decided it wanted to spaz out. So I didn't feel much of a difference with the tires. So there's probably just a little bit of adjustment to them. So fuel strategy. So in our races, the cars are limited to 50% fuel, and you do have to make a required pit stop in our feature races. And so a full half fuel tank, about 13.7 gallons in most of the cars, usually get you to about the 30-minute mark. So you could do a little bit of a strategy. You could do, if you want to do like, half a tank to start the race, and then you can take a full tank and pit early. You could do that. Or if you want to put the full tank in and then run it all out and then just get you a splash and go back out there and finish the race, you can do that too. And it just depends on with a track like Watkins Glen. I don't think anybody's going to try to do that short pit version, just because you need the draft, you need the momentum, and you need to stay up front here. And I don't think a short pit would be the good strategy here.
So
Yeah, I
Finch
think there'll be
and
three. Oh,
Finch
sorry.
and Luther were not on the call a couple weeks ago at Long Beach, but there was a GTP. I think it was Youngwall that ran. This is just practice, guys. It's okay. That ran the whole race without having to stop. Do you think that one of these GT3s can do that, or do you think that's
not happening.
possible?
That's
Absolutely
not
not.
100%
Not at this
tank,
track.
no.
Not at this track.
We should see three probably main strategies shake out. One of which is going to be, was mentioned, the undercut. That's a possibility if you're worried about traffic. If you're further back in the field and you don't want to fight your way up, that's not a bad way to just be in clean air, run, and try and undercut some people. Two, we should see the people who fuel save and pit the same lap as people who don't fuel save, try and get that cut in the pits with a shorter stop time, less fuel. And third, we should see that overcut of people who fuel save and just stretch out the laps and try and go for that same low fuel stop. So once we get to the pit stop, we should try and keep an eye on, see there's any overtakes happening in and out of the pits.
Yeah, the big thing about this being just a solo class is they're not running into any traffic that's either going to shake up, right? It's
Oh,
going to
well,
cause them to go.
same class traffic can slow you down if you're a quick driver stuck further back. There's
Well,
always my
yeah,
take.
but I mean that goes without saying. But the unpredictability of having a multi-class, right? That's where that comes in, where you don't know what they're going to do, or if a GTP is going to dive bomb, or what the LMP2s. Yeah, they're not as fast as they once were, so they slow the GT3 drivers down just a little bit more. But with the single class, we should see. I would expect to see a lot of people taking the fuel tank to E, doing a multiple, allowing them to have multiple laps on as minimal fuel as possible. I don't see the strategy of pitting early working out really for anybody. You're just making your car heavier, therefore slower, even if it's by a couple tenths. It's still enough to where you're not going to be as strong in the draft, when the draft here is very powerful. You have this whole long through the S's wide open straight that, I mean, if it were me, I would be taking it down to the wire.
Taking it down to the wire here real quick before we get into the race. R1 now has one hand on the GT3 AM trophy. What does Marwan have to do in this scenario? Obviously, still got to watch out. Coletta's there. Not Coletta, I'm sorry. Asta's there, but he's not right there. So if you were Marwan in this situation, what do you do? Like, I know you're going to say drive safe, but how safe do you want to keep the driving? Because Asta is not a slow driver.
Well, no, it's not about, it's being consistent, right? It's not about driving safe, because there's nothing about doing, sim or real life. There's nothing about this that would be considered quote unquote safe. Right, you make one small, I'm going to turn the steering wheel too far one way, and that's game over. It's about driving consistent, not pushing past your limits, not trying to put in fast laps. As long as Asta stays behind him, then you just drive consistent, drive his race pace. Don't try to push it. It's a long race. It's a 45-minute race. He's got time to get in there and do what he needs to do, and just make sure he gets the car to the finish.
Yep, I say just, keeping it easy with the cars around you. There's no need for high-risk overtakes, especially through the bus stop. Honestly, if I'm in his position, I'm just going to find a nice quick car in front of me and just work with them. Sit in their draft, not fight them, and then you can work your way, build a gap to the cars behind just with working the car in front of you. So that might be what we see here. We head into the grid coming up. Oh, we have the results up for the last race too, if we want to roll through that here. I think we had Finch
We already
go
ran
through them before, but, the grid for the race, we have Cody Cosgrove starting out in that first place position. Then following, we have Ray Kingsbury. So it does look like there was a flip, no?
It was inverted, yeah.
It was inverted. So we have Kevin Fanning in third place, running up those podium positions, and then finishing off that second row of the grid is going to be Mafta, who is now in second place in that AM division. Making things more difficult for Asta with that invert, because now we have Coletta there starting the third row in fifth place. We have Marchbanks over in sixth place. We have Matt Kingsbury in seventh, and Christian Youngwall in eighth. Moving down to ninth, we have Kevin Bogart and Brian Asto, who had that unfortunate last lap to the last race, spitting it through the second to last turn. And that would be your top 10 rounded out. Then we have in 11th, Kieran Forrest and Josh Ondo in 12th. Joshua Sussey in 13th, and Nathan Fennell in 14th. Tim Taplin in 15th, who had that early incident in the race, in last race. And then we have Jason Lynn in your 16th position. And then Brian Sun and our commentator, Brandon Lambert, continuing to multitask. And Falquez, I'm not sure where he finished up last race or where he is right now, but he's there, and he's first in a class of his own. Starting 15th overall, but first in class. Which is the Falquez class.
Oh, looks like we're having a little bit of technical difficulties. Our technical director, Adam, doesn't know what he's doing.
All good here.
You know, that C8's rather popular. You know, we got 2 Mustangs, but it looks like we have more C8s rather than Mustangs. I could be wrong.
I would just like to also point out, guys, real quick. So you can see the manufacturer of logos there in between the driver name and the interval. For some reason, iRacing has decided not to put the Ford or the Chevy logo yet here in the GT3s. So all you're going to see are Audis and Porsches for now. Don't know exactly why, but hopefully that gets fixed and they'll update that. But yeah, basically anybody that doesn't have an Audi or a Porsche logo is driving the Mustang or the Corvette.
1, 2, 3.
Oops, all Audis. So, also another thing to point out here, current, Kingsbury and Crosgrove, who are sitting 1 and 2 here, are both teammates, both for Precision Racing. So that is a nice 1-2 position they're sitting in. So maybe we'll see them work together in these opening laps to try and fend off the cars behind. Or they can be like me, where they hit their teammates every other race. That might happen. But hopefully not.
Well, nobody wants to be like you, Jake.
That is true, and that's why I'm here in the booth.
Yeah, you're better at it than driving.
That's fair. That's a low bar, though.
It really is.
It really is. And on that note, we're about to go lights out for a green flag here. So where would you start? You mentioned the last turn would be your ideal start.
In the GT3s, yeah. If I was P1, as soon as I rounded this, I'd be on it.
So we'll see if he goes here or the other opportunity, I guess, is waiting towards the line.
He didn't let there it goes. Now I would go. Second that car in, I would gun it. Because everybody else has got to go the long way around. And it gives you a nice little...
And we are green. All right, let's see.
I should ask, Brandon,
oh, it's a good launch from Fanding. Good
Brandon,
launch from Fanning. See, he goes down the inside. Okay, no move on there. But we do see Moff around the outside. Let's see if he makes it stick down this long straight. It looks like he does. Should have the exit speed going for him. And he makes the move stick. It's up into third for a provisional second place in the AM division.
That was Youngwall. No, it wasn't. Who's that C8?
Oh, let's see here. We have Marchbanks going for a move down the inside of the bus stop. And he does not make it stick, but he comes back around for an outside
move. You do
Wow.
not see that very often. You do not see a move on the outside of the exit of the bus stop very often.
About
that
15
was
minutes between 2 bus stop moves. And we see a spin here. Who is that? Down the red Corvette.
I see a Mustang without a front bumper. What happened there?
Susi. Probably a little bit too much brakes maybe going through there.
Yeah.
Yep, so we're going to hold off on the replay there and see the battles going on screen. We have everyone nose to tail here with Kingsbury and Marchbanks, both gainers on this first lap so far. Kingsbury up from second to first, and Marchbanks going from, what is that, 6th to 3rd.
You know, I wonder if Fanny's just doing this as a victory tour, not really pushing all that hard, because he's down a spot again. Oh, he did? Oh, he did. No. That was
Battle here. This
Youngwall.
is
That was Youngwall on Mofta.
Youngwall holding it around the outside. See if he makes
Oh!
it stick. It
Was that
looks
just-
like he got close to the
Oh, that
wall
was just
there. Yeah,
bad.
but he's stuck.
Excuse me, that was just iRacing being hard.
Now it looks like we have a replay
Yeah, that's
here.
Mofta. Oh, that is fanning on Mofta. Okay.
Let's go back live. Let's see if we see any moves going down the straight here. A lot of people tucked in. All nose to tail until you're back to Youngwall in 5th place, who's a 1.5 down from Fanning right now, leading his own pack. And we see 2 wide going to the bus stop again. No move done. They back out of it, which is what I would do. And he
what
goes
a save!
off
What's
there.
going to happen? He's
He
going to
keeps
get a
it clean.
slowdown.
That's a fine rejoin right on the inside of the track, and we see Kingsbury, Matt, taking advantage of that. Right on the inside. Oh, sorry, Matt, that went off. Apologies. We see
That was Coletta.
Yeah, take advantage of that on the outside. But it's a long race here, so he has every opportunity to try and work his way back. Let's see. Can we look at this Fanning, Crosgrove, and Marchbanks pack right here up ahead? Because they are all tucked in right now. And we have Marchbanks, who had made another position up. He was just in 3rd earlier, and now he's splitting these 2 lead cars. Let's see if he tries making a move. Oh wow, he is not wasting
Good on the
any
brakes.
time trying
Good on the
to.
brakes there. Well, this is an AM on a pro, isn't it?
Oh, these guys are both pro.
They're both pro.
Okay.
Yeah. See Marchbanks kind of backs out there for that last turn. Probably a little bit of lack of visibility there. And he'll have plenty of opportunity to try and make a pass down the straight. We do have Youngwall sitting the fastest lap at a 1:45.9. Even with his little... He had the little trip through the chicane, was it not? Or was that his teammate?
All right, guys.
That's
So
his teammate.
we see Marchbanks here absolutely pushing. How long can you do this without the tires starting to suffer? And if you do get the tires to overheat, can you get those tires back down to temp, or are you basically, for lack of a better word, screwed for the rest of your stint?
You can. Depends how
hard.
you push it. You can, if you're leveraging your tires right, you're going to be going a bit easier on them into some corners where you really don't lose any time for going easy on them, especially if you're fuel saving at all. And you can push them in a little bit in other corners and try and keep the temps stably going up. But yeah, once you do get those temps too hot and you've gone too far, it's going to be very, very hard to try and dial those temps back, and you will lose considerable time. So we'll have to see how that plays out for him over the course of the stint.
Brandon, real quick, coming to you now. So we've got Christian Youngwall here we're riding on board with, but we're watching right now. His team name is Quokka Racing. What is that as his profile picture? Because I don't think there is such thing as a Quokka, or is there? And is that what that thing is?
Yes, that's exactly what that is. It is a Quokka, and it's a I don't know exactly what it is. I know it's like,
Marsupial of sorts.
yeah, it's in the same family as what's the cute Australian
Wombat?
banana?
Oh,
Yeah.
It's like a wombat.
Koala?
Nope, the other
Koala,
one.
yes.
Yes.
It's the same family as the koala.
Yeah, it is. It's a pretty cool picture, and obviously,
Did you
we
see-
see who is that just went a little bit wide. That was Cosgrove.
Cosgrove.
That's Cosbro letting
Started this
Fanning
race in the
and
lead.
Youngwall around.
Wow, they are
Fanning-
tight in there. I've never seen a move happen right at the exit of the S's like that.
Fanning
Wow.
overtook Cosbro into T1.
Yeah.
Nope.
We have also Youngwall, who's a big gainer there. Now at 5 positions.
Mofta is in P6 and Asta is in P10.
Yep.
With currently,
Well,
that's
Mofta
Mofta
does have
that
Coletta
class
breathing.
total, so. No, he's fine. He is, so Mofta's leading the AM class as a whole right now, with Coletta sitting in 2nd in AM. So that's the points leader right behind him. So if he can get an AM
But,
win,
I mean, he is close.
yeah, they're very close.
Is Coletta going to dive in on the inside? It looks like
If
he's
I'm
going
Mofta,
to.
I'm letting him go. This is not Mofta's race to win right now. He's in a battle for a championship, but he's not letting him go. What a battle. They're going up into the toe now. Oh, my goodness gracious.
Yeah, it looks like
twice that they
Mofta
almost hit.
just hangs on,
Someone
and that
just slid
gives.
out.
Is that Young? No, that's not Youngwall. That's
Bogart just.
Yeah, it was just. It was just.
Bogart. Can we go back to this this battle here? Back to the front. Yeah, who's that by in front of Coletta right now? That was someone who's a gang. That
Kingsbury.
was Kingsbury, who had the little excursion onto the grass at the
Ron
bus
Kingsbury.
stop earlier.
Ron
Matt
Kingsbury.
And he was a gainer out of that. He saw the battle up ahead, said, "Oh hey, there's open space. Yoink! I'll take that position for free. Thank you." And we move on. There's Ray Kingsbury, who's still leading this race here.
What's
Right
Fanny
behind.
gonna do?
To do the smart thing and just back
Are we
out
gonna see
of it.
another overtake
live
out on the
another
bus
day.
stop? Because that would be great. You don't see that very often.
See Josh Ondo getting a good run through the bus stop. See if he makes a run down this next corner. Looks like the Audi got a little unstable there. The exit. But he has a good run. Dives down the inside. Is he gonna make it stick?
Oh,
He does. Very close.
What a
And he
save!
saves it. Looks like the rear end got a little unstable. That can happen under the brakes with these mid-engine cars. Rear bias, a little bit too much brake, and that'll happen. But it was a very good attempt. So we'll see if he tries to make another run of that later as we cut back to
This is the lead trios. Yeah, this is the lead trio. They're all still within 0.6 of a second of each other. Then fourth and fifth are right there within a second of.
So Lambert, you've seen these guys run. Who do you think right now in these packs are fuel saving and trying to get an advantage towards the pit stop?
None of them.
No.
They're all out here racing hard. It's the last race of the season. It's at a track that everybody in this league loves, and so they're gonna race as hard as they can to the checker flag, which I love to see because it's been a really fun season this season, and of course everybody's switching to GT3 for this last race just because the GTP championship was locked up, and a lot of these guys were just excited to get back in a GT3 car, and so Ray, you're seeing Ray, Marchbanks, and Youngwall. They were all GTP drivers, and so seeing them in GT3 still be in the class of the field is absolutely amazing. But
I wanted to kind of expand off that. So normally, what you'll see are these GTP drivers that don't do so hot when it comes to the GT. These as Youngwall cannot get any closer to Marchbanks there, but. Normally you'll see a lot of issues when these GTP drivers, especially this quick of a turnaround, come down to the GT3s. But, I mean, this just goes to show the absolute masterclass that they are. I could not, if I was a driver, I'm a GT3 driver, I couldn't go up to the GTPs and replicate what they're doing right now on this track.
Well, I mean, but so going from GT3 to GTP is a huge leap, right? I mean, because it's you don't have the assist that the GT3 does. The big leap going down is getting used to the assists again.
Yeah,
it's because you're used to, like, when it comes to braking, right? We all know the old adage, races are won and lost in the braking zones.
That's true, and I think Fanning is listening to us right now on the broadcast because he said, nope, we are not going to let these GTP guys win. Fanning has gained about 0.5 of a second in the last lap here, so Fanning is on the move, guys.
Yeah, so as I was saying, the jump down to a GT3, it is difficult in its own way, but it's difficult in a way of, driving a GTP. I'm a full-time GTP driver, but I make the switch, and I'm going to be doing the switch this next.
Yeah, as you're saying that, we see Youngwall trying to make a move around the outside of the bus stop, and we see Marchbanks just says, nope, I'd like to live another day. I'm going to back out. It's exactly what I would be doing. That is the sensible thing to do. Very smart on his part.
It is a sensible thing. But now...
Yeah. Youngwall is not taking a second to breathe before he's already looking at Kingsbury. He's saying, nope, I've gone up 6 places in 7 laps. Let's make it 7 for 8. Yeah, let's look at.
Yeah, but there's a huge gap between them.
Yeah, it's a huge gap between Moft and Aster right now, as Finch pointed out here. They are 2 positions separated, only 7 seconds, so we have a lot of racing to cover.
Well,
But go ahead.
No, go ahead. You're
Oh
fine.
no, after you.
I don't even remember what I was saying.
But we have.
I was
anyway,
doing math.
Yeah, we have. About 6 seconds separating them. Let's say roughly.
Yeah,
And that's not the biggest lead for 30 more minutes of race, and you can gain that back. 1, 2 mistakes, and Aster will be right there. So if you're Mofta, you really can't be too lazy here. You gotta just keep chugging along. We see he's slowly losing that draft ahead to Cosgrove. He's got to cling on to that if he wants to keep building this gap.
Speaking of Cosgrove, he has fell like a rock.
Yeah,
it's
back 5
6
positions.
He probably pushed those tires too hard. And the thing about the GT3s, cooling the tires is a task.
Yeah, we can see as well. Yeah, we can see as well. We had a lot of really quick guys starting behind Cosgrove, and I mean, just looking at his racing in the first race, he might have just said, "Hey, these guys are really quick. I'll let they're going to overtake me, but I'm not going to battle it too hard." He can still tuck in right behind the really quick guys in the top 5 and just try and push his own lead his own pack here.
Oh, leader's off.
But
that was Ray Kingsbury.
Yeah, well, I did want to say, let's talk about Youngwall for a real quick second here. So he started 8th, and I posed this question to Lambert about if he was going to be able to make it back up to the lead, and he has done exactly that. It only took him 8 laps, and Youngwall is back in the lead of this race, and he is probably gone.
Back in the booth. Get out of here. Back.
Well, we just saw the problem with the Corvette. So the Corvette is
a mid-engine car.
Very similar to the Ferrari in the way it handles, and you've got to set it up to be tight at the start of a run so it can break in. And I think just with the tires coming up to temp and whatnot, and the car actually losing a little bit of fuel and the balance changing, and I think it was a bite of that, of the car not being tight enough to the start of the race, so it couldn't hang right there, and you saw Kingsbury get loose in a very easy place for a mid-engine car to get loose.
Labor, here's what we're going to do real quick. Hang on. Here's what we're going to do. With with Brandon as our guest commentator here, we're going to let him commentate on the wreck of one of his admins in his league. So, Brandon, tell us exactly what happened here.
Oh, we're going to get a replay. So you see Ray goes in way too deep and gets that back end around. And once that back end comes around, you cannot save it in a mid-engine car because now all the weight is coming around with you. And he's just going to spin. Is he going to touch the wall? Oh, just a little tap. Oh, might be a little harder of a tap than I thought.
I think that was a little harder of a tap. So now we get to say that, Brandon, you have absolutely just slated one of your league admins. So enjoy that at the end of this race.
Thank you.
No, I'm not an I told you so person, but I am an I told you so person. I did point out to, I think, Adam and Finch before the broadcast started, the Corvette is not an easy, comfortable car when you're driving that on the limit. On the absolute limit of that car, it is under the power, under braking, under basically any kind of turn, not the most stable thing in the world. If you're under pushing the car, it can be pretty friendly, but at least in my experience, this would be a tricky track. You have all these curbs that can unsettle it, all these undulations off camber, where I think these have to be really difficult to drive. So anyone who's finishing up there in the top in these things have really been on it all race, I think.
Well, Ray's falling like a rock, and I wonder if he's got some suspension damage from that hit with the wall.
Well, I was going to say that.
A pit stop here.
Oh yeah, he definitely does.
The pits. Yep.
Well, so with
Does
the
he have a fast repair?
I think there is.
Okay.
So the thing behind when you hit the rear of a mid-engine car, it knocks off the balance even more and makes the car hard to rotate.
Yeah, can we cut over to Fanning? Looks like he's 3/10 behind Who's this here? I don't know if we can go to the on our
That's
timing tower,
Marchbanks.
that overall. Marchbanks?
That's Marchbanks. That was Marchbanks. There is Marchbanks.
But there's also a really tight battle between Ondo and Forrest right now. Not even a tenth. They're not even a tenth separating them. As we see, Ondo pulls out to the inside for the bus stop. Does he make a move down the inside in the bus stop? They're still too wide, and he makes that stick. I didn't think I'd be seeing one move like that into the bus stop before this race. I've seen 3. This is incredible
They're
racing.
pretty brave into the bus stop. I
Wow.
will say that. I
No, and the bravery from the overtaking car too. He stuck it. He said,
Oh,
"Fine, we'll go
both of
too
them.
wide." That was really impressive driving from both drivers there. Receiving.
Yeah. The Corvettes are starting to lose pace, and the Mustang is starting to show its teeth. And
yes.
also, Fanning is now on the back of Marchbanks, and I think we're going to get a good battle for P2 here pretty quick.
So the thing behind the Corvette is when you push it, it's just like the Ferrari. Its balance is all in the rear. It's good out of a dig, but it eats through tires like there's no tomorrow.
Try the Porsche then.
Oh, God,
Oh,
no.
that's a big squirm over from Fanning, who
Yeah, that
just
was-
gets a little slippery on the exit there. Wonder if he used a little too much inside curbing, which unsettled it. Kind of what it looked like. And that'll give Marchbanks a nice reprieve down
It
the
allows
straight.
Crossgrove to come up onto him.
Yeah, you're not wrong. The gap is now put down. Yeah, let's see. Can we go back to the battle between Mofta and Coletta here? We have...
Between Coletta and Mofta.
Yeah, he's not letting go at all.
11 seconds back from this battle.
Coletta drives through the ethereal plane for half a second, but he's back, and he has come out of the plane 4/10 right behind Coletta. He's not letting him go.
We're gonna keep eyes. We're gonna keep eyes here on Coletta for a minute. He's starting to play some mind games here on Mofta. If you watch down this front straight. I've seen Coletta now flash his lights down that front straight and into the bus stop, probably for the last 3 laps. He's starting to play some mind games here. He's letting Mofta know, hey, I'm here. What are you gonna do, buddy? You wonder, Brandon, do you think Coletta is trying to pass him? Does Coletta want this win, or does he want to battle with Mofta?
No, I think Coletta definitely wants to win, so he's going to push it as hard as he can. I don't think Mofta's not one to break, though. So if Coletta wants this position, he's going to have to really work for it.
Over a long period of time, though,
this entire time. Oh, first pit stop. Who is this? It's Marchbanks diving into the pits. This is 20 minutes in, so this is what we're saying earlier about an undercut. I don't think he has damage, so this would be on strategy. So this is well into the pit window.
I'd be shocked if they took tires.
This is, I think, what, 5 minutes within the pit window. Yeah, let's see if he takes tires.
No.
Don't think
he
really
is taking
has,
tires.
He is. I think he'll lose a little bit of time on that, but I think it might be a necessity with the Corvette and how it's been chewing through this race.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see where he comes out, and we're gonna have to keep an eye on Marchbanks throughout the race and other pits come up, and see if he jumps Kingsbury, Fanning, or Youngwall post pits.
Whoa.
That's a long stop when you take tires on non-empty tank. So, he taps the wall and he spins. No, that is heartbreaking.
That is why, and there's a penalty. He's out. He's out of the lead race.
Yeah, let's see what happened here on pit exit. Can we get an onboard, perhaps, of
He just spun it too hard right here. He hit that curb.
Yeah. Wow, that's the Adam. Before we started here, Adam was talking about the 3D curbing updates to this track, and there we see hit a little round curb. Bounced right off, right into the wall.
Unfortunately for him, that will also result in it more likely in a penalty, in an unsafe pit exit penalty.
We'll see. I think he might have been between lines there. We'll have to see later in the race, but that heartbreaking for Marchbanks, who had an excellent race up to this point.
All right. Sorry, Brandon, I'm coming back to you, man. So you've got right now Marwan sitting here in 4th place overall. And he's battling right now for 2nd as Marwan decides to go into the pits. Say that. But battling for second right now in the AM. It says Marwan gained pace over the season. Is this what we're seeing right now? I mean, battling 4th overall. Pretty damn
Yeah,
good.
well, I think it's a little bit of, well, some luck with some people not having the best night like Margie Banks and Ray Kingsbury, and I have no idea where Cody Cosgrove fell off to. I guess he's pitted. So you've seen a little bit of luck run into it, but he's definitely got the pace more and more each race over the season. So seeing him lead AM and P4 overall is not a surprise for me at all.
So of the drivers that just came into the pits, I'm sorry, Marwan did not take tires, but Matt Kingsbury did, and so did whoever's coming out of the pits right now. I'm trying to figure this out. So did Taplin. So most of these drivers are taking tires. Marwan did not. This is a weird strategy. I did not think we were going to see.
I wouldn't. Well, it's a 45-minute race.
We see it's 126 degrees track temp right now. It is very hot and very easy to chew through the tires. If you haven't managed your tires and it's very hard in these conditions, then I think from the time that you lose, and you will lose a couple seconds, because we're not on empty tanks here, you'll still probably gain it back on a fresh cold set.
Well, that, and because the track's so hot, it's going to heat up the tires real easy.
Yeah, you have
There's
to
probably
really
been a couple of guys today that's overdrove their tires, and
well, I think that's the common thing that we're seeing with the
Corvettes. Going to the pits here.
I want to see if Coletta takes tires.
Keeping an eye for Mofta coming through. We're 191, so he is just entering. He's in the
so this
last
will give us
now.
an idea of what the gain loss is for tires.
Well, on one lap, like cold tires are not going to be too much quicker than really hot tires.
Pit exit
really
to pit. I'm talking pit exit to pit exit. So he's just coming down pit lane.
Mofta coming down. He's still in
Coletta looks like he was just leaving. No, he was leaving. So it looks like
that's the power of the undercut. No, that's pretty powerful. They were nose to tail before the pit stop. And what's the difference? What's the gap here?
Yeah, I think that might have just sealed it up for Mofta.
I agree.
Yeah, that is a big gap. So that's the power of the undercut, I think.
Well, I think Coletta took tires and Mofta did not, so there's...
He did.
We'll have to see...
What's the pit?
I'll just see how this progresses. I mean, those fresh tires are only going to be good for maybe 5, 6, 7 laps if you're pushing them hard, so we'll see if Coletta can make that ground up.
Well, really, it's actually only a 3-second difference in pit time.
Yeah, from the tires, but we're going to have to see if that fresh set's really going to gain them that much back. It's only going to last, I think, like 6, 7 laps when you're pushing it like this. But I mean, that might be more than a window to get right back, but we'll see if it equalizes at that point.
I mean, we got 20 minutes left.
Because again, it's not the tire wear that's really the concern, it's the temperature you put in them. So the second that new set gets up to temp again, they're going to be no better than the tires people stayed out on.
No, they're going to be much better.
No, they won't. The second they get up to temp, it's the temperature that slows them down in these cars. Really, the wear is...
They'll be faster. The people on new tires will be faster than the people on olds.
Yeah, for
because
6 or 7 laps, yeah.
No, for the majority of the race. Because the people on olds, especially the front, this track, this Asta.
Is Asta in the pits? All right, well, let's keep an eye on where he comes out. It's Mofta going down. It's Coletta going down. So we'll have to see. This is going to be a considerable gap, it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, Asta's also taking tires. Asta, sorry.
The thing is that this track's very front left. It destroys the front left tire. Destroys it.
I mean, even in these temps, I'd be hard pressed to see where it go beyond, I don't know, 60 or 70%. But let's see. We have here some flashes. Matt Kingsbury saying hi to us. Hi, Matt. as he chases down Lynn for 3rd place. But keep in mind, I don't think Lynn has pit yet, and he does not have a front bumper, so this is not for overall position out of the. He's making it work. That's a weight reduction, good cooling, but yeah, this is not for overall position after the pit stops here.
I'm surprised iRacing didn't model the Mustang's deck lid popping up.
That would be pretty sick. They should add that to the next update. But both leaders,
P1,
Youngwall and
P2, are they
Fanning.
gonna take
Let's see
tires?
if anyone fuel saved, maybe get a jump. But
Youngwall's taking
Youngwall
tires.
takes
Is
tires.
Fanny taking tires? Fanny's going to take tires.
And
No,
Fanning does
no
not take
tires for Fanning.
tires, so we're gonna see if we can jump him in the pits here. This is
He's
gonna
going to
be close.
jump him. He's going to jump him in the pits.
This will be very close. And
No. Further pit
Ooh.
box makes sense. Well, all
I don't know.
four or
Oh,
one
at
side.
this point, yeah, they're close to a full fuel tank here, so that should be completely free.
No,
It's
that's
almost
only
like
half
even
tank.
Yeah,
so
they're only-
I think Youngwall probably just took lefts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it probably
at
that
a
would be smart to
50%
take.
tank.
That would be smart to take lefts here. I mean, the that's what I was saying. The left side of this car, the left side tires. I mean, I've seen it to where they're down to 30% after a 45-minute race. They're just taking absolute beating here because all of the high-speed corners are right-handers. So they're all that pressure and all that weight's going out to the left-hand side.
It looks like we have a crash from Lynn as it's on pit exit here. Maybe a little glitch there, but yeah. So let's see how this
Kingsbury's
tire.
out. Kingsbury came out
Oh,
in
I'm hearing
between
some radio
Fanny.
messaging. Do we have any incidents happening here? Nope, no incidents. All right, back
But
to it. Sorry, Finch.
Kingsbury came out in between Youngwall, or the two leaders, Youngwall and Fanny, came out with Kingsbury split in the middle. Unless our
That is interesting.
yeah, so we got
Was that the
Youngwall,
pit-
Kingsbury,
Was it
Fanny.
the order before the pit
Kingsbury,
sequence, or was
guys,
it a jump?
Kingsbury pitted on lap 12. Youngwall and Fanning both pitted on lap 15. So, like you said,
Oh,
Jake,
see,
the
there's-
undercut is pretty powerful here. But the question is, can Kingsbury hold on to this? Hold on to these tires, or is Fanning going to be able to use those new tires to his advantage? Well, never mind.
Fanny didn't take
tires.
Fanny didn't take tires, but Kingsbury and Youngwall did.
You know, we see Fanning is closing the gap. I think we'll see if that's just that's staying pretty stable. Never mind. It's about that 3-second managing. We'll see if Kingsbury extends this on the new tires or not.
I think that the last 10 minutes, the people who didn't take left-hand sides are going to be regretting it.
All right, when
This
we
track-
get to 10 minutes left, coming up in, was this 5 minutes?
5 minutes,
We're
yeah.
gonna have to see if all these guys like Fanning start dropping like rocks.
I mean, here we have this is Coletta right on the back of Mofta. Mofta didn't take tires, but Coletta did. It's see how much more speed he's able to carry because he's got those new lefts. This track's just brutal on the left-hand side tires.
Oh, whoa!
Oh.
That's almost contact there. Oh, it is
was
contact. Coletta went deep on the brakes.
Please
That's
be the-
contact, almost second
Please be the
contact
gentleman and
there
give it back.
between
Just give it back.
Coletta and Mofta. Looks like he keeps it right there. And I mean that's position done. Rubbing his racing looks like a
Yeah.
little page out of Earnhardt Senior's book. A little bump and run, and he is through. So it looks like he just went a lot deeper on the brakes than
Because he had the
Coletta
newer
and,
tires.
like, Mofta in front and went a little bit too deep. But both cars look to be okay right now, and we'll see if Mofta makes a retaliatory move, trying to catch him back down on this next straight on
Yeah,
lap 19.
I mean, that was a classic example of because Coletta had the tire advantage, he's able to go in and brake deeper.
Coletta's got a little bit of damage on that right front, though.
Yeah, I noticed that. I wonder if that was from the
It had
first
to be
and
from the
second bit of
contact. His car was
contact.
clean
Yeah.
before the corner.
We'll see if that has any impact on his pace here, especially as Moft is going to have a draft, but looks like he's actually
Coletta?
just
I
at a
don't
draft
see any
range.
damage on Coletta's front.
Yeah, so that front right bumper there.
You'll see
Hey,
there's a,
can we
just a little
go-
gap in between the headlight and the bumper on the right hand
Yeah,
side.
so that front right has a little dent, looks
Oh,
like.
I see it now. I see it now. That should be very minimal, but yeah, it could end up making a big impact.
I don't think so. He's pulled away from Moth since he's passed him.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll see if Moft has damage of his own. Do we have any views of the rear of the car? It looks to be okay. I don't see anything too glaring right there, so...
I didn't see anything either. It looked fine. Yeah, but I mean, this is the story of taking those left-hand sides, even if you it just makes such a huge difference here, especially in this heat. This is not a track that, I mean, even back in the day when they
Yeah, we see a flash of the lights over from Ray on his teammate. Wonder if they're going to go for a swap here, or if he's going to be telling his buddy to go into the pits. Take a look here. Has he not pit yet?
No, they've all pit. I think everybody's pit,
okay.
yeah.
I think Ray's telling his buddy to get a move on it because he sees Coletta closing, and I think it might be too late. Coletta's already there.
Yeah, I wonder if it's too late to go for a swap now, for sure, if you're trying to lead. So his best bet is to use his teammate's slipstream to try and defend from that draft behind Coletta, but he's going to have the 2-car draft, and we'll see if how effective that is going down the straight here. So we see the gap right now, just under 3/10, and it's shrinking. But is it enough to make a move? I don't think so. You have to be really fully alongside here.
So the 2 Corvettes ahead, just judging by time in pits, doesn't look like they took tires. So I'm thinking I'm thinking they didn't take tires, and they're struggling right now. Coletta was a solid.
Oh, we see a move down the inside from Asta. And who was that on? That was on Lynn? Tim Taplin. That was on Tim Taplin for 9th position here.
Lap car.
So where does that put him? Oh, lap car. That was Tim Taplin was lap there. And Tim Taplin doing the nice thing. He kept it really wide and let Asta go through without losing too much time. Really a way of letting lead cars by on the blue car. Smart and sensible from both drivers.
So,
but where does that put him overall? 9th place in comparison to Mofta. So, and that is a 25-second gap.
Rather sizable.
Yeah. So all Mofta really has to do is just keep it safe here, and he's got his P2 overall, and Coletta will have his overall 1st, and that would put Asta at 3rd in the championship standings at the end of the season.
Ray, I'm going to come to you here.
His name's not Ray.
My goodness.
This
Brandon,
is Lambert.
come to you here and let you know, instead of trying to type this out to you in chat, we would like the top championship finishers as well, if we could figure that out.
Yeah, absolutely.
So 1st place from each. Never mind. I'm thinking we're starting to see that tire advantage. Oh,
in the back there. Who's that? That is.
No, next one.
I think it might be a lap car.
Who's that C8 in front of the? No, there's 2 cars up now. Saucy. So yeah, he was a lap car.
Nathan Fennell just had a little bit of a wiggle come through that turn. Might have hit too much curb, too much grass. But to be odds on, all okay after that. Kept nice save, kept it out of the wall. And here's Christian Youngwall with his Quokka Racing, keeping a sizable near 5-second gap to Kingsbury behind. I don't know if we've seen over the past few laps if that's been closing up at all, but Kingsbury does have his work cut out for him. Only about 9 minutes left in this race to try and close that. Oh, Something happened to Ray.
Well,
If we can
no,
try and find a
Ray
replay.
Kingsbury, they were fighting. What happened to... What happened... Oh, you're right, Mofta is bad. Okay, something did happen to Ray.
Drop back quite a bit because he was in line with his teammate earlier.
I'm thinking...
Oh, let's see here. T1? Is this where it happened? Alright, we're pulling up a replay soon to see what incident kind of threw him down the field here. There's a replay of Mofta. Here it is. Alright, so it's like Ray goes into T1, bounces off that curb there. Nothing there.
What did he pass Asta?
Might be through the bus stop, perhaps. Okay, he goes to the bus stop. Ooh, big bounce off the first curb. Second, clean. All right.
I think he's
Not
gonna lose
sure.
it. He's gonna lose it into.
That well, something happened, but
I think he.
you know,
I think he lost it going into the T6.
maybe, but oh, here we go.
Into the corner before
is this live, Adam? Still a replay. Apologies. This is a move of Mofta on Kingsbury down the inside of that that right.
Kingsbury gets him back, which. Oh.
All right. Well, we're back to live, anyways, right? Just confirming that. All right. A lot of jumping with the replays there. Got me confused, but we're all good. Back live. Kingsbury is ahead of Mofta again, 6th place. His teammate up the road. Looks like the gaps did widen out a little bit. His teammate is Crosgrove, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
He's leading Coletta right now by there was something did happen because there's now 10 seconds, and that was a solid 3-pack nose to tail earlier. But besides that, the gaps have spread. Looks like Youngwall's put another.
Oh, Fanny goes. Is he gonna save it? Is he gonna save it? What a save by Fanny!
Not easy with these Zaddies. They can curbing, all this direction change can really unsettle, and that was
that was a good save by Fanny, and he doesn't look like he lost a place, huh? No.
Yeah, no.
He hasn't lost a place, but he's got left rear damage.
Yeah, he does.
But I mean, what's the gap to the guy behind? He might be able to just close it out over 5 minutes
5
and just
seconds.
hold on. 5 seconds, so you can.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage there.
You just gotta hold on for a good 2
that
or 3
wheel's
more
not
laps
moving
of
the
that
right
damage.
direction.
See if he pits and tries taking a repair. There's another car off. This was, I think, the same driver as earlier on, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
Was that Fennel? Yeah, Nathan Fennel. So I think the closest gap that we have here is Mofta and Kingsbury, who are 8/10 apart right now.
You know, Ray is we can see the weakness
Fanning
of the C8.
pits. I wonder if he had. Was that damage from? Yeah, that was damage from. Alright, I guess it was either a meatball or just undrivable, which is heartbreaking with only about 3 laps remaining in the race. Hate to see it, but that is.
But luckily, he's got his pro championship all settled.
Wrapped up.
You know, I wonder with Ray. Can we go back to Ray? You know, we can see. You know, Ray's pushing real hard with this C8, and we can start to see the cracks that is the C8 coming through. You know, I've noticed him coming around a couple of these corners, just getting real squirrely, and not really feeling comfortable in the car. You know, there he go real wide there. I mean, that is not the. I mean, there he lost the rear a little bit on exit. We could see that these C8s on low fuel, high tires, because I don't think Ray took tires. that he's struggling on them. He's struggling to find grip. He's going wider in some corners. You know, not this corner, but the next. What is that? T9. And coming in at the exit of this corner, the last couple times we've seen him, I've watched him. You know, he's squirreled wide and gets a little squirrely right there, but he's gone off and hit the grass a couple times there. And so maybe the C8's just not as tight as he would like, and he's struggling real hard.
All right, so we're going to stick on this battle here between Mofta and Kingsbury with only a lap or two remaining here. Only 0.8 separating these two drivers. Well, now a second, 1.1 seconds, but that gap should close back down a little bit in the draft on the straight here.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell both of the cars, their tires are, you know, they're gone. They're going a little bit wider on corners. They're not able to carry the same speed. The track is hot, right? And so that's playing a big part into this. And it's going to be, the longer Mofta goes behind Ray, the harder it's going to be to pass him later on if he chooses to. It's just.
Now might be a good time too to go back. Lambert, what was your prediction again for your race winner and your division, your AM division winner here? See if that was spot on.
Well, yeah, my overall winner was either Young Wall or Fanning, and I was.
Yeah, you're on it. They're both up high.
Yep. White, looks like white flag.
Yeah, it's white flag.
And then I had Coletta pulling it out over Mofta, but I did have Mofta getting second place in the points, which did happen. So really good to see. I was hoping Mofta could keep up there with the Coletta and actually take the win away from him in the last race of the season, but looks like that's just not going to happen, and Coletta's just going to show his pace. Just got just a little bit more than Mofta this season.
I think if Mofta would have taken tires, we are on white flag. I think if Mofta would have taken that, at least the left-hand side tires, they'd probably still be nose to nose.
Possibly.
Yeah,
I don't think tires played as big a difference as you think it does here.
Yeah, it was a good showing from Mofta for sure, though. At least up until the pit cycle, they were very close. So still a great drive, cementing a spot up there in second place. But let's just keep it with Youngwall in this last lap. I don't think there's really any close gaps on track, so we'll just see him parade around GTP. Was he overall for GTP?
He was the overall GTP champion, yeah.
Yeah, now he comes into the GT3s for the last race and shows everyone what's what. Says, I can drive a GTP, I'll drive a GT3, I'll drive a V8 on wheels, the Mustang, and I'll win with that too. The commanding lead, almost 8 seconds to second place here. Great drive.
You know, it just shows how much the pit stop could make a difference in a race, because when they went into the pits, they were nose to tail.
Checkers for Youngwall in first place. As a big congrats with a flash of the lights. We'll move down with Matt Kingsbury in second place. And right behind him, was that third overall behind him, or is that a lap car? Was that... No, Crosgrove is...
No, that is a lap car. That was Kevin Bogart.
Chef Crosgrove crossing next, if I'm right, over third place here. Overall, great drive from him. He started up, I think, only in first place. Had a lot of fast cars going by, and you know what? It pays to be quick, but it pays even better to be consistent, and that's what Crosgrove showed today with that P3.
Yeah, and Coletta coming off, you know, winning both the sprint and the feature for the AM class, showing that.
There's third, Brian Asp also for the AM division, getting that final spot on the podium for the series. So big congrats there, and Jason Lynn finishing out right behind, fourth in class.
Then we got Kevin Forrest coming out 5th in class.
Little wall tap for Steve's.
Kieran. We got Josh Ondu.
A little bit of a weight reduction for the end of the race,
Yeah.
but he finishes it out, and that's what we like to see.
Wow, look
some
at all
donuts.
these burnouts.
Right, so as we watch these donuts, I think we'll work on getting some people in the booth for some interviews. All right, so we had a action-packed first 15-minute heat with overtakes happening left and right, no gaps between the cars, and plenty of drama. Then moving into the second race here, we had a very tight race up into the pit cycles. We saw some really successful undercuts, and I don't know if you want to go through the rest of that, Finch, but we have the results. Finch, you want to roll us through once that loads up on the overlay?
Sure. All right. Well, we can run through our unofficial results with first place being Christian Youngwell, second place being Matt Kingsbury, third place Cody Cosgrove, fourth place being Dan Coletta and first in class in GT3M. Fifth place would be Ray Kingsbury. Sixth place overall would be Marwin Mafta in second place in the GT3M. Seventh place is John Marchbanks. Eighth place and third place in GT3M was Brian Osta. Ninth place is Jason Lynn. 10th place is Kieran Forrest. 11th place is Josh Undu. 12th place is Kevin Bogart. 13th place is Nathan Fennell. 14th place is Joshua Sassi. 15th place is Tim Taplin. 16th place is Robert Falquez. 17th place is Kevin Fanning. And that rounds out our results for the race.
Perfect. Yeah, very good start to finish. Only really started winding down the gaps at the very, very end as they started opening up. But really, that was a really commanding drive from our P1. Youngwall, he was P1.
Yep.
Yeah, commanding drive. Started a little bit back, had a lot of cars to overtake in the beginning, and he just made move after move, charged his way up to the field, and said, "I'll stay here, right at the front."
I'm still shocked at the amount of overtakes we saw in the bus stop. Not going into, actually in the bus stop.
Yep, I've participated in a lot of leagues, seen a lot of leagues, and that was very clean and just some really good racecraft all around from the drivers. All right, Youngwall in here as the race winner. Finch, would you like to go ahead and take the interview over with us?
Yeah. Christian, good race, man.
Thank you.
Walk us through a little bit of your, what you were hoping to get out of this race tonight.
Well, I knew I had the GTP Series 1 going into this, so this was more for fun and stuff, but this was also sort of almost like a test run to see how competitive the Mustang was sort of in the GT3 field, and I wound up doing the 24 hours of Le Mans this weekend in it as well and stuff, and it's fantastic car, so this just more backed my liking of this car, so I really enjoyed myself tonight.
How was it making the switch from GTP to GT3?
I always liked GT3 better. Then when I switched back up, then went up to GTP, it took a while to adjust, and then it definitely took a while to just coming back, getting ABS again. Definitely took a while to get more used to that and more mechanical grip and stuff. But now that I'm back in the groove and stuff, I'm definitely happy I'm back. I miss driving these cars for sure. Lots of fun.
So next, as you mentioned, congrats on the championship for GTP. Next season, are you going to stay in GTP? Or are you going to come back to the GT3s?
I think I was going to go back to GT3 and try that for another season. I was really, I mean, I've done a lot of GTP over the last year or so, and I'm almost worn out of it. So I want to go back to GT3 for a little bit for some stuff. So I think this would be good to have GT3, and I think a lot of my teammates and stuff are going to do GT3 and stuff. So I think it should be a lot of fun to have all of us together again instead of separated between GT3, GTP.
So it sounds like next season we're in for a little bit of a treat between you and Kevin Fanning.
Yeah. Me and Kevin always have a good little back and forth, and we have for the last, I think, 2 or 3 seasons. So as long as we're together in the same class, I think we'll have a good little battle for sure.
How'd your car handle towards the end of the race? How are the tires?
Surprisingly, much better than the sprint race. At the end of the sprint race, my tires were completely shot, and then during this one, after about 15 minutes into the race, the tires just sort of came back around and felt really good. I did wind up taking lefts during the left side tires during the pits, but I don't think I actually needed to. I think it was about 85% still. But I mean, I'm just surprised they actually lasted as long as they did. I'm happy they lasted as long as they did. So I know the Corvettes seem to be struggling out there with tire where they all seem to be spinning or having some sort of overheating. So I know it's definitely an issue for some cars, but for the Ford, it didn't seem to be an issue today.
Great. Well, thank you so much. Congrats on the GTP overall win for the series, and congrats on your win tonight.
Thank you.
Do you have any shout outs you want to give, Christian?
I guess just thanks to all the guys at SimCAR again putting this on, and for you guys being here, and just all the guys racing too. I had a lot of fun, so yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Right.
All right.
That was Christian Youngwall, our GTP champion and overall winner of the race.
And now we have Dan Coletta.
Good evening.
Who is the overall AM winner for this evening.
Yep. Why don't we have Lambert? Lambert, do you want to interview?
Lambert just left. Oh,
Lambert left? Lambert, would you like to interview Coletta?
No, y'all can take it over.
All right. Oh, he's gone again.
Yeah,
all right.
So, Dan, you won the overall tonight. You won the AM championship. Walk us through what was going through a little bit. The feature you started ahead of, or not the feature, the sprint you started ahead of everybody in the AM class. What was your goal during the heat?
So the sprint, I was just trying to focus on learning where my tires were going to degrade. I didn't want to push flat out for 15 minutes and risk spinning at the end and having the entire AM class pass me. So it was more taking it easy and pushing on this corner on this lap, this another corner, another lap, just trying to learn the tire deg for the feature.
Okay. And then going into the sprint, you were now behind Mafta, who's P2 in the championship. Where, given that you had won the sprint and pretty much had both hands on the trophy, at that point in time, what were you thinking? Were you thinking about just going all out and just racing as hard as you can and having a good time, or were you thinking about winning the AM class tonight?
Toward the middle of the race, I started pushing a little harder as I got closer to Marwan. We were lapping pretty similarly for about the entire race until he had a little lock up and almost a self spin, and I think I saved him on corner exit from a self spin when he door banged me. So I think I got a thank you coming my way. But I wasn't too concerned about trying to go all out and pass in the first few laps. I had my team with me, and we were just kind of going at a cruising pace, taking it easy. We'd pulled a pretty good gap to the rest of the AM class behind us, so I wasn't terribly concerned. Just focusing on finishing. I think the only chance that Marwan had to take P1 overall was if I DNF and he took P1, so I just wanted to finish it essentially.
Okay.
So, if I can jump in, can you take me through that moment? You did pass him on track, if I'm not mistaken, on the that left-hander after the bus stop. It did look like you went really deep on the brakes. We were on your bumper cam, and we basically just saw the inside of his exhaust pipes there. Did you guys make contact at that point, or I mean, were you pre-planning that move, or just kind of you noticed under braking that, oh wow, I have something to go for here? If you could walk us through that.
Yeah, I wasn't really trying to go for a move. Like I said, I wasn't trying to force anything that wasn't there. Wasn't trying to roast my tires or lock up and spin. But he braked earlier than I expected him to, so I had to just kind of send it up the inside, not to stuff it up his rear end and send him spinning. Mid corner, I think he got either brake lock up or some oversteer on the corner exit, and he started to spin. And we just kind of ended up side by side, and I'd managed to get a slightly better exit and just pull ahead by the next corner. So more incidental than anything.
No, but still very good job on, taking advantage of that opportunity there. Any more questions too, Finch? Before?
No, I was just gonna say it was a great race. It was great watching you. And do you have any shout outs that you want to give to anybody?
I'll shout out my teammate Brian, who ended up P3 in AM. He had a good fight up until the last race with Marwan. They're tied coming into this one, so it was a real close battle for him.
Yeah, we watched that race fairly closely, and that battle between them very closely. And it's, that for me in the GT3s, this is a track that I just don't have pace on. So, it looked like he was struggling a little bit, unfortunately.
Yeah, a lot of us were very unconfident coming into this race. Like Christian and myself just can't find consistent pace the track. Like, we were putting in very similar times, and he should really be about a second ahead of me at least per lap. So it was just tricky overall. And once, a group pulls away at the beginning of the race like we did from Brian, it's just so hard to catch up. So you don't have the draft, you don't have any teammates to work with. So just unlucky.
Yeah,
Still
it really
very
was.
good race though from his part. So
yep.
Yeah, but congratulations on your overall win, and congrats on your AM class win tonight as well.
Thank you. It's on to pros next season, so well done winning.
Exciting. Well, thank you.
All right, we've got Kevin Fanning in here. Kevin, are you happy that this was not for a championship win tonight, my friend? Because there was a left rear tire that was pointed in a position that it should not have been pointed, Kevin.
Yeah. It wasn't one of my finest hours there. But, I was trying to chase Matt down and just see if I could. And the car I just took a little bit too much curbing. That was the end of it, so.
All right, so talk me through the Audi after the update. Do you think it's still one of your favorite cars? Have you tried to drive any of the new cars? Has the update affected the Audi at all?
I haven't seen anything different with the Audi. But yeah, the Mustang really strong tonight. Corvettes were quick, but then I think they had some tire issues. But I was ringing the heck out of the Audi just to hold on to them as best I could. But later in the race, it seemed like they were coming to me. I got a good pit stop out. John, I think, had some issues, but was doing good until the bus stop. But yeah, the Mustangs were way too fast today.
Yeah, I mean, that's I think that's kind of a general consensus as we were talking about during the broadcast, is those Mustangs, they don't seem to fall off either like those Corvettes did. Those Corvettes seem to be quick under a shorter stint, but you always seem to gain it back and get them back. But yeah, those Mustangs are going to be a force to be reckoned with. With that being said, are you going to stay in it, or are you going to go to the Mustang here for next season?
Yeah, I'm thinking the Corvette or the Mustang just for something different, but haven't decided which one. See what the team wants to do.
All right, speaking of next season, you won it this season, Kevin. Can you do it again?
The talent pool is pretty deep here. So Christian, Matt, Ray, of course, Cody, and John. It'll be a packed house up front, but I'm going to give it my shot.
It's going to be a great battle, and I hope we're there to cover it for you. But Kevin, before we let you go, any shout outs you want to give? Any thanks?
Special thanks to Brian Sohn and Penguin RC for sponsorship, and Too Fast Crew, and SimCAR, and of course my teammates, Josh, Marwan, Tim, and Art representing RD Sign. So appreciate it.
Yeah, awesome, Kevin. Well, thank you for letting us watch you for the last 2 races of the season. We hope to be talking to you way more in the future.
Thanks. Have a good night.
All right, I'm going to send it back to you guys. Get us out of here.
Concludes this season. We had an exciting 2 races here. A lot of moves in areas you really wouldn't expect it, I think. At least 3-4 bus stop moves that we counted. Overall, great race. Great utilization of strategy by many in the pits, and we really have a good read on the Mustang and Vets, their performance over a stint looking at this race. Any overall comments on this, Finchy, before we close it out?
No, it was a great race. It was fun to watch. Real tight. I'm excited to see what their next season's going to unfold for them.
Absolutely. Might have to join myself. Maybe I can multitask like Lambert did. Be in the booth, be in the wheel. You can get some onboard action. Who knows? But I'd like to just sound off. Again, thank you to the sponsor, Penguin RC, and everyone in the league. It seems to be like really, really well done, really well put on. So that will be it. Signing off. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.